I want to thank you for calling this hearing, because the issue of transparency of the Federal Reserve System is something that is of crucial value to us. I rather enjoy the fact that the Federal Reserve has been in the limelight lately, because that is the source of our problems. That's where the inflation comes from. That's where the distortion comes from. That's where the malinvestment comes from. And it's a shame that we don't know more about it. But I don't blame the chairman of the Federal Reserve System for this, because it's already been quoted that 13.3 is in the law. So a lot of responsibility falls on us here in the Congress. Also in Title 13, Chapter 7 of Subtitle 1, says that the GAO has authority to audit the Federal Reserve Board, the Federal Reserve banks, as well as the FDIC and the comptroller of the currency. Sounds good, except you go to the next paragraph and say, except for you can't audit the Federal Reserve or any of these organizations for the things that matter, such as transactions with foreign banks, transactions with foreign governments, transactions with international banking organizations. We can't have real access to knowing what's happening at the discount window in detail, as well as how reserves are used, as well as information and what really transpires at the FOMC. The fact that we have information dribbling out to us, that's one thing. But, you know, for instance, in the last about 2 years ago, we've been denied the information that a lot of people consider rather important, and that is the total money supply. What is M3 doing? And that, of course, for some of us think that is important. But it indicates that transparency is not always the goal. The question we in the Congress have to ask is, why is it that the Congress is so eager to give up their prerogatives and their responsibilities, whether it's in foreign policy, whether it's giving the executive branch the authority to go to war without the Congress saying much, or whether it's turning over the monetary system to somebody that can operate essentially in secrecy and deal not with a few $100 billion, like $800 billion here and there, but tens of trillions of dollars when it adds up. And yet the Congress seems to do very little. So if we're concerned about transparency, if we're concerned about what's happening with monetary policy, believe me, the code has to be changed. But I'm delighted that the chairman of the Banking Committee is interested in this, at least to put some pressure. We do get bits and pieces and dribbles out of information. But why we turn over this tremendous power to actually run the economy, central economic planning, through the manipulation of prices? The whole problem we're facing today is that the Treasury and Congress and the Federal Reserve is trying to price things that they're incapable of pricing. That is the toxic assets, the illiquid assets. So if we'd only allow the market to operate, we might clean up the mess that we have brought upon ourselves.